Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 169
That's
of the
crazy.
Red Force podcast.
That's crazy.
My name's Ari Talado. Join me today, Christian Talado.
I'm here.
What do you have to say for yourself?
One Piece anime. You know, they're just like this. They're like this.
You get nothing. You lose.
Absolutely nothing.
People thought they were going to see rallies.
All that war.
No. Oh, you did get it right earlier. And you already interrupted immediately into the show, Christian. How do you feel about that?
Well, I can't pick it up.
I'm sure I'll get a call in about 2 seconds.
Alright, someone's calling me, but that's the camera right now.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so no. Alright. One Piece anime, get
Yes.
nothing. Now the audience probably can't hear this.
Uh,
But it's hilarious.
Classic.
Man, the camera shaking.
problem
The
with...
camera shaking and
No.
it's already falling over.
You forgot that... You forgot, Christian, that...
There you go.
Hey baby, I hear the blues are calling.
Terrible nonsense already starting. Who's calling, Dad?
Whatever.
Yeah, someone's calling. One Piece anime, you get nothing. Alright?
Just like the show, you get nothing.
You get nothing.
Speaking of which, subscribe and like the show. If you like this kind of content, hit the bell or whatever, you know?
Always interrupted.
Yeah.
Always. Alright? Now, Scopper Gabon. Talk to me. People saying, why would the anime give us so much time with Scopper if he's not going to turn up?
Who's saying
in the
that?
anime?
Who's saying this?
I've heard people say this.
Lies.
I've heard Braga say this. What do you think about that?
Nonsense. Scopper Gabon, or forever a meme, Oda made him real
Yeah.
by one line of dialogue.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Is Scopper Gabon a meme? Will he always be a meme, or will Oda
Yes.
actually pull the trigger?
now, Christian, what do we got for the people today?
We got chapter 1 of Promised Neverland. Alright? We got topic of the show. Death of the author.
I
Alright?
don't know what that means, but we'll get to it.
Have you ever heard of this before?
Not really.
Legendary essay that changed the criticism and scope of storytelling forever. You should probably know about it. Right?
Okay.
But Eric didn't go to a real university or do a real course, so
That's
he doesn't
true.
know about it.
Oh, well, I went to the same university you did.
Yeah, but you didn't do a real course.
That's true.
So you didn't get education.
I'm not saying that's not true.
Right? You didn't get education, alright? Now, I think you all enjoy this.
Alright.
Right? Because it's the modern criticism of the old.
Is it
Style.
why I hate everything? That's
It'll be interesting to you.
Okay.
I can't believe you've never heard of this phrase
it's
before.
familiar.
Never heard
but-
of this phrase before.
Sure.
We got Shanks, of course. Alright?
Power scale, Thunderdome. We haven't done the power scale in 2 years, so
We got the Thunderdome.
yes.
We got questions. That's what we got. Alright? What do I got? I got Shadow Soul 106 is out.
106. Yes.
And now 107 is out.
All right.
The end of the fight, the conclusion of the fight of the arc. Alright? Now it's over. And you know what that means?
What?
Post-arc nonsense.
Okay.
Alright?
Christian loves
Getting
a good
into
prototype
the
nonsense.
getting into the
spice.
fake depth of world building. As
Okay.
Eric likes to say.
Sure.
Get into the spice, the reveals. The what's to come.
Revisited Build King, Christian.
Surprise.
Get to chapter 10, and it's just Toriko again. Throw out the buildings don't matter. All right. It's about fighting big men, demons,
Sure.
building men,
Building man.
building monsters.
Sure.
And it's about the stupid power system that is indeed fake.
Fake depth.
Fake depth. Now,
Now,
what is?
can fake depth be found in every aspect of a story?
Yes. All right. Now, we've been
Yeah.
through this. All right. Get this right. To use the power, 1 millimeter of it costs 1 second of your life.
1 millimeter.
Yeah.
Why? What's the distance? What does the distance matter?
Because it's the area. Because they're putting it onto building things to make them stronger. So, if you cover a square meter of something in your specific
Elemental bullshit. Yeah.
Alright. Vigor, as they call it. It's nonsense. Alright.
Lifespan.
But they're fighting villains at the moment. So there you go.
How much? What's the conversion rate
What do you mean?
of lifespan to power use?
Power isn't equated to lifespan. It's only
We use the
when
specials.
you use it. Yeah. So if you use 1 millimeter, it costs 1 second of your lifespan. The potency isn't calculated yet.
The potency is calculated off strength.
Yes.
And the ability and the length is calculated off lifespan.
Yes.
We're getting into the nonsense, alright? It looks like a deep and nonsensical.
Some say it's
battle
gonna get
system.
cancelled, so who knows? We might get the first fight.
I think it's lasted longer than Samurai 8. So there you go.
Okay.
So there you go. So maybe not. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into The Promised Neverland. May I say, the best first chapter.
Get your pen and paper out.
Alright? It's a great first
Take some
chapter.
notes.
Alright, now, the series as a whole declines in quality, but that's not what we're talking about here.
I'm disappointed to hear that, but we'll get into it.
The Promised Neverland. Alright? Chapter 1. Little information here. Now, apparently I got the Hunter information wrong. I don't know how that happened.
Okay.
I copied and pasted it from the wiki.
Right.
So,
Maybe some English release bullshit.
I don't know. I got the years wrong. Whatever. Alright? But the point, it was still in that time period between Naruto and One Piece, so I was still correct. Whatever. I'll get it right this time. I double checked this information, alright? Released in August 2016 and ended in June 2020.
4-year run.
4-year run, went out on its own terms, concluded on its own terms.
Yes.
Was not cancelled, was not rushed, none of that bullshit. Alright? Popular series in Jump. Alright? Written by. Now, KU, it's KAIU. That's 3 vowels in a row. What is my English brain?
Christian's on a Japanese
How do I
man.
calculate that with my dumb English brain?
KU.
KU, I guess. Shirari.
Okay, there you go.
I can barely read English. Don't
Sure.
don't make me read Japanese. Alright? Alright, so his background, first published in June 2015. A standalone piece. It's Shonen Jump Plus, the
Yes.
online manga, not the print. Alright?
Shall we get into...
This is a special situation,
Okay.
Eric, because it's a writer-illustrator combo. Alright? No one guy's making this, it's got 2 people on it. So we have
Interesting.
the second person, illustrated by Posca Demzu, a female illustrator. Alright?
Interesting.
Debuted as a manga artist in 2013 with a series of illustrations stuff, artistic stuff in Korokora, and then worked on this.
Okay.
Alright? An illustrator.
I want to bring up the first point. Maybe we'll talk about the topic of the show. I don't know how it relates, alright?
It does. The topic of the show on this does not relate.
Okay. On Twitter this morning, I go, you gotta stop with the talking.
Agreed.
Show me. Let the silence speak for itself, Christian.
Yes.
Not now. This is an interesting concept because there's a writer and an artist here. Not sure if the script has direction in it or not. You know, all those kind of things that we're not really privy to.
Yeah.
Right? So we can't really give credit. Let's give credit to both.
Yeah.
The writing isn't the standout, I'd say.
No.
It is the level of detail,
And cleanness.
cleanness. You get the air. The whole situation is airy and bright, of course, until we get to the twist, right? But
Would
that
you say-
that comes through in the art?
Yeah.
It shows emotion through character, with paneling, with no dialogue,
No,
with
here's
action.
Here's the great thing about this chapter, right? Remove all the dialogue, you can still work out what's going on.
Correct. You can still read it without the dialogue.
Masterful work here. Now, later on, when we get into the mind games, not so much. But this is the first chapter.
Right.
Alright? Now, it does get wordy. A lot of big brain plays. A lot of big brain players. Alright? But let's break down the plot. Alright? It opens up with narration from the main character, Emma. Alright? Not Enma. That's a very different thing.
Situation.
It's a
sure.
very different situation, alright? How can we forget? Alright? Not Enma, but Emma, alright? She lives in an orphanage. Alright? So she thought. Alright? First lines. Interesting. Intrigue. What does that mean? Alright? We start with the day-to-day life, establishing the normal, as we bring up a lot.
I'll allow you to say it.
Right? Buzzword term, I understand that, but it's very important.
Shout out to the buzzwords terms.
Alright, we're gonna use them indefinitely off
Haven't heard Dritz use it.
because it's too big. It's too big brain for Dritz to understand. Alright,
Okay.
establishing the normal. What do I mean by
Most
this?
of the shop though.
A day in the life before the inciting incident. Now we got a little heated last time about this. Alright.
What is the
Eric-
inciting incident in this, Christian?
It's either the rabbit being dropped, or
I should have
the
Ta-
moment
taken notes.
either the rabbit being dropped, or the moment they see the kid in the back of the wagon. What do you agree? What do you say it is? Probably the van, because it sets them on
Well,
their
it's hard
journey.
to say because the first chapter's not really an arc. It doesn't
It's
really.
the start of the
conclude.
journey. It's
Yeah,
the
I
start
know
of
it
the
doesn't. It doesn't conclude itself though, so it's hard to say. But whatever.
I'll say it
Probably
is the van.
rabbit.
The van flips their world upside down and actually reveals the real world and whatever's happening and sets them on their path.
Sure, whatever.
Whatever. Let's not get into this yet again. Alright. Establishing the normal here, day-to-day life. She loves the people around her. She's warm. She's kind. She's giving. She's smart. We see the daily tests. Very ominous panel. And very much of a contrast. Cold, sterile.
Hard blacks.
Hard blacks.
Heavy black.
Kids just staring at the screens. No emotion in their
Notice the
eyes.
technology choice, Christian. Character's very round, very soft.
Yes.
Technology extremely rigid, hard, angular,
Yes.
cold. The room itself.
Contrast the emotionless kids in this panel here.
Right.
Contrast that with scenes before with playing.
Almost machine-like.
Yeah. Playing, having fun with each other, enjoying a meal, enjoying the
Emma playing somewhat of a mother figure to the other children.
and we also have the character of mum, mother, the caretaker of the orphanage.
Right.
Alright? A very important character, very good character. Alright?
Can I ask you a spoiler question about
What's
this
that?
character? Does she transform into a demon, or is
No,
she just
she's just a human.
in on it? Because she has to, or whatever.
Spoilers. Spoilers for the people out there. If
Okay.
you don't want to know this, skip 1 minute. Alright? She is in on it because she was raised in the system, and then, the smartest ones take over the farms.
Right.
Alright? There you go. Alright?
So she's big brain, the most big brain.
She's the most big brain player.
Right.
Alright? Very good. Alright? We got the character of mom. She takes care of the orphanage. Very kind, very giving, it would seem. Alright? It would seem. I get it. Slaying those seeds. Alright? The kids have an daily IQ test. Alright? The first hint, I would say, of something being sus is the numbered tattoos on their necks.
Yes.
Their ID numbers.
Never pointed out.
Never
Can't actually pointed
pointed out, but
yeah,
yeah,
it's not
that's-
made into a thing.
that's the first sus thing you see.
The
Then we get
the
IQ test.
narration dialogue Emma thing going on with
Yeah.
the boxes kind of is like, what's that thing where it's like, you imagine the narration is very, very sweet sounding, but the context is very ominous, right? I don't know what you call that technique thing, but it's done.
Yeah, okay. So we get that. We get the IQ test. Now, the daily IQ tests, and the kids are ranked. The smartest ones are Emma, Normand, and Ray. The three main characters, the three kids. Alright? They're smart, They get full grades on their tests.
Various different levels of
Intelligence, attributes. We'll get to
Sure,
that.
they'll have their
We,
own
we
attributes.
establish that later, right? And then then it goes back to normal. They could go outside and play. They have fun. We establish the characters and their feats.
I'm invested, Christian, in these characters.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
You give me something to attach to. You are showing me what they're about. All right. I want to talk about the panels where nothing is happening.
Which panels?
There are a few panels in here where it's just Emma and a couple of kids.
Sure.
There's no dialogue. You see them interacting.
Yeah.
You get to absorb it. You get to absorb everything.
Sure.
That's what I like about it. Alright? Now, we don't need 300,000 words
No.
telling me the intent and how much she loves the kids.
No.
And how much she loves her baby sisters and each, blah, 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 blah. No. We see it.
Now, let's relax a little bit, because we do get into a little bit of that later on. With the big brain. Because this manga is all about the big brain players.
Sure, but
At least in the first
I'm talking about the emotional side of the story.
Yeah.
Very visually told,
Exactly.
which I appreciate.
Right. The day like kids are ranked, and then we go out to play. We establish what the strengths of each kid are. Emma is the most athletic, the fastest.
Mm-hmm. In a game of tag.
Norman is the strategy man, the IQ man. Well, they're all IQ, but Norman's more strategy, and Ray's all about that knowledge, that strategy.
I imagine Ray has less physical attributes, but they're all said to be pretty physically.
But Emma's the most physically gifted,
Right.
Out of the three. All right. Some kids are jealous that the kids that leave the orphanage never write back or return. They're so happy with their new families, they forget about their old friends. Mm-hmm. Kids are upset. They want to go. They want a family. They want to leave the orphanage at the time. They think it's an orphanage, but of course we know it's not. But they're upset. Why don't they come back and say hello to us? What's going on here? Again, another hint, another sus aspect of this story, right? Ray, whatever. All right, about that stuff. We go later that night. It turns out Connie, another kid, younger kid, is leaving the orphanage.
A real dummy, Christian.
Dummy, low quality.
Low quality.
Yes.
Right?
As it turns out. Connie leaving the orphanage, last day at the orphanage. Alright. When Connie grows up, she wants to be a mother just like mom. Or, it's confusing, right? So, there you go. The time comes when she's leaving. She leaves with mom, but she left her bunny behind that she loves very dearly. Alright? Her best friend in the world, her little bunny, alright? So Emma, being the kind, empathetic character she is, grabs the bunny. She says she can't leave this orphanage without this bunny. Gonna go give it to her. Norman agrees. They go with each other. They go to the gate. Now, I forgot to mention that they're also gated in. They're allowed to leave. They've been told there's some event that happened that won't let them leave. Mm-hmm. They're in here for their good.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that's very important. Mm-hmm. So, there's this legend about what's behind the gates, all that kind of stuff. Another sus aspect. They decide to go and give Connie her bunny before she leaves. They leave in the middle of the night to go do this, and they notice a truck. All right, and Emma peeks behind the truck, or in the back of the truck, and we see Connie dead with a flower going out of her torso. Shock, horror.
Some kind of liquid.
I think that's blood. Not in the jar. Yeah,
sure, maybe it's blood.
Whatever. All right, I think it's blood. But they freak out, and then they notice two creatures coming towards them.
They hide under the truck.
They hide under the truck. All right. Now, people come out. The orphanage is not an orphanage. It is a farm for demons who eat humans. Shock, horror. All the moves. Sweaty also.
Yeah.
So we're Nani, we're Sweaty. What is this? Big reveal. Demons eat humans. The orphanage is a farm for the demons. The higher the IQ, the higher quality meat, the higher quality brain. Alright? The higher quality.
They've had a bunch of shitty meat for a long time, Christian.
We need that
But
high quality
a few
harvest.
Specific individuals. So we forgot to mention that you leave at 11, they're 10.
Yeah.
The 3 best kids are 10.
Well, you don't necessarily. You can leave
M is
before.
10.
Yeah.
Right. But
you leave before.
You always leave at 11.
Yeah. So they want that high quality meat,
Yeah.
high quality harvest. All right. We find out that Mum is indeed in on this. She agrees that she will harvest one of her special children the next time these demons come around.
Yes.
Now, I believe it is the next harvest, not necessarily a birth date that's relevant here. But I could be wrong, I can't remember. But the next harvest, they will come and take one of the 3 main characters. The kids end up running. You know, they escape. Doesn't really matter how.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird how, like, it just...
The demon holds the bunny. You get a hint that they know. Suspect.
Mum knows.
Yes.
She knows. She's like...
Because the rabbit is given back to her.
Yeah, she knows.
So, you know. Yeah, there's no big panel saying, Nanny, I know, you know?
Yeah, just a little... She knows, alright? Norman and Emma go back. They meet Ray. They don't tell Ray.
Yes.
And then the chapter ends. What's gonna happen? They only have a few. I think it's a few weeks. Can't remember. They only have a certain amount
she
of
says
time.
it's impossible to escape. Ray's like it's all about strategy.
Well,
Norman rather says
Yeah.
it's all about strategy.
they don't tell Ray for his own good.
And the plot begins to escape the prison/farm.
Yes,
And I'm intrigued.
intrigued. Derek's intrigued. Now, is this your first time experiencing Promised Neverland?
And kind
Do
of
you
not
know-
really. I know that there were demons involved, and
Sure.
you know, so it's not really like I don't get the shock firsthand.
Yeah.
Christian, were you fresh at the time?
Now, I did binge read it in 2018.
Yes.
I believe it was 2018, probably at the start of 2018. I got through the first arc and halfway through the second arc before I ran out of chapters. A little pissed off about a reveal, so I didn't really go back.
Is that the real that everyone hates, or
No, there's a lot of big brain stuff going on,
yeah.
and in my opinion, it was all planned for the first arc, and then it kind of like
got shaky?
got a little shaky, got a little weird. But
Do you think it should have only been the first arc they escaped?
yeah, the first arc is the real. I think the first arc is the real great piece here.
Mm-hmm.
No, not the rest. The rest is fine.
So you assume it gained popularity and then it got a little extended.
Well, yeah, maybe, but the first arc's the best part of it.
the first arc was the great idea that they had, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Setups, payoffs, all kinds of big brain stuff going on here. You want big brain, you read the first arc. Great. First chapter. What do we rate it? It's got everything.
9 out of 10, Christian.
9 out of 10. Well, what would break it to 10 out of 10? What would give it to you to 10 out of 10? Because if this is a 9, what's a 10? Just more, maybe...
What would be a 10? Maybe a little bit more time with Connie.
It's not necessary, though.
Not really.
We don't care about Connie. We care about the fate of the 3 characters.
Why would I give it a...
Why would you give it a 9?
Why would I give a 10?
Why would you give it a 10?
Maybe the last 2 pages aren't necessary. Maybe we end on the shock of them seeing the demons and the corpse. Not sure the last
Would
2
you say
pages were necessary.
would you say the cliffhanger of the demons itself would have been more of a propellant?
Yes.
Instead of explaining it a little bit.
Not necessarily need the 2 pages of them going, we need to escape. That would be assumed on the next chapter.
So you would have preferred the last panel being them running away from the thing?
I would say the last panel probably should have been him holding the jar. You know,
Okay.
with Connie in it.
Sure. I agree.
Yeah.
9 out of 10. Why not 10? Because it doesn't have that one last thing.
It's so close, yeah.
It's so clean, crisp, precise, tight. gets me involved, gets me. It made me binge read until there was no chapters left. That's a sign of
Simple
quality.
premise.
Great premise.
Great premise. You don't
See,
have
seen it before. I haven't. Not gonna say I haven't seen
it's
it
not
before.
new. Sure, it's not new, but
You seen it in film. You seen it in other narratives.
good premise.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be complex.
Yeah.
There's no power system here. They're children.
No.
So
Now it gets a little weird, but yeah.
yeah, okay. It's all about IQ.
Yeah.
But yeah, the emotional tone's solid. Again, it's good and refreshing to see artists in 2020, or, well, whatever this was, 2018 or whatever.
Now this is an interesting
2016?
artist. This is an interesting artist
Yeah.
because she's been outside the system. She's more of an illustrator. Not really that involved in the manga industry. More of an illustrator.
It's cinematic, is what it is. This first
great.
chapter.
Very first chapter.
Now,
Now, would you say the illustrator would have way more time to draw this first chapter than the
we see
writer?
great art in My Hero. I mean, the art is.
But I'm saying direction, panel work, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, a lot of planning, a lot of effort went into that.
It would have been a collaboration between the two and what they want.
Yeah.
But you know that doesn't matter. We're judging
Yeah. So there you go.
the piece of work and very high quality.
Would you say unique art style for that manga genre? It's not.
It's unique enough.
It's got its own spin on it.
It's unique enough.
High detail in cloth and boots and leathers and hair.
It reminds me of the
What?
It reminds me of like the Toriyama way of thinking, where all the characters are very simple, but all the technology is very detailed.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So yeah, and the environments are very detailed as well. So like creates this like juxtaposition between like the soft, simple characters and the harsh, detailed environment and technology
Yeah.
and things. So
Everything Eric talks about.
it's very nice. It's very nice.
I would like to see it. Right. 9 out of 10, Promised Neverland, very good. We have set the bar.
9.
Set the bar for great first chapters.
It's hard to talk about without showing the pages and the panels as well. Like,
Yeah.
I would like, you know, to
Can't
show
really
people
do
what
that.
I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gives enough time and space for its characters to breathe and become real.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Moving on to How Strong is Shanks? How strong is Shanks? Every week, we come to you with the question of how strong is Shanks?
The Shanks here.
And every week we answer. Shanks is the strongest. Shanks is the God King. God King.
Yes.
But there are people out there who say Kaido's the strongest. Who say Blackbeard's the strongest.
Baby.
There are people out there that say sweetest man on the planet. Okay, Inu's the strongest.
Okay, no.
Okay, no. Crazy. There are people out there that say Dragon's the strongest. There are people out there that say Mihawk's the strongest. Mihawk. And there are people out there who are the worst that say I'm the strongest. We all know they're wrong and incorrect. And every week, we bring 100% genuine factual information to the table. This week's evidence is Shanks is so strong that he dodged a Whitebeard commander at the age of 12. Proving
Less, isn't it?
it's 12. I looked it up.
Okay.
12, 10 to 12.
Uh-huh.
Not really hard to tell the timeline.
Sure.
Whatever.
Well, you could do
Young
it. We know
child.
it's for your 40.
Yeah. Young child
Yeah.
dodged a Whitebeard commander. Alright? proving he had future sight at this mere age in his life cycle, in his cycle of death and rebirth.
Just an amendment.
Yeah.
Amendum.
Yeah,
Whatever.
sure.
Shanks did not one-shot anyone, therefore anime not canon.
But he dodged a white beard commander.
Sure, no one-shot though. Not canon.
Dodged a white beard commander. Could that future sight
There's still
unlock?
time.
Sure. There is. Alright? Shanks is the God King. Now moving on to the topic of the show. Death of the author. This is going to be very intriguing for Eric. Alright? An education.
Let's hear this. Alright.
Death of the author.
Explain this to the people.
A famous essay coming out of France in 1967.
Okay.
Some say part of the postmodern movement. Now that might trigger Eric instantly. Alright?
Not necessarily.
Alright? Essay by French literary critic and theorist Roland Barthes.
That doesn't sound French, but...
Barthes? Come
Sure.
on, friends. Alright? Barthes' essays argues traditional literary criticism practices of incorporating the intention and overall writings of the author is not relevant. What is only relevant is the interpretation of the text, and instead argues the creator's intention is irrelevant and unrelated to the meaning of the text. The art is separate from the artist.
Yeah.
And this is what the modern criticism era is all about. Because before that, before 1967, around the 1960s, people argued, or people were criticizing text with author intention and with their own previous works. So you would put a novel by the same author up against a prior novel of his own writings, and you would criticize it based off that. But now this guy says, no, it's irrelevant. The author is dead. The author is no longer relevant. What is only relevant
Is
is
work.
interpretation.
Right.
What do you think about this? As we bring this up,
It definitely sounds like a postmodern thought, for sure.
but it's influential. That's what we do. Because we brought this
Well-
up. We brought this up with Sanji a couple weeks ago, where we're like, it doesn't matter what Oda's intention is. This is bullshit.
That's true. But it is also my thing that if the author's intent is portrayed correctly,
Yeah.
you should know what the author's intent is.
Okay.
This implies that there's no real true reading of the text. If I'm interpreting it correctly.
Well, it's a whole essay. There's a lot of
But
shit
to
going
me,
on.
it's like trying to make the argument of, well, it's your interpretation, there's no wrong interpretation,
Sure.
etc., 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 which isn't necessarily true.
But this essay is about the practice of criticism of art.
Right.
It's not about right or wrong interpretation. It's about a seismic shift in the criticism. So instead of going, the author's intention was this, you pull directly from the story and you pull it apart that way. You don't go, in the author's previous work, he said this, and now in this work, he's saying this, and you contrast and contrast that. No, you go, that's not relevant. We're talking about this story, and this character did X, therefore, in the story, this is what should have happened. Instead of going, what is the intention of the author here? Is that met? It's only about the story and the logic within the story and what that means. It's not about...
I guess we do both on this show, though.
Sure.
It's not like we don't do both. We always search for Oda's intent first, right?
But the question will always be... The question will always be, is the author's intent relevant? Now, people like to bring this up in the real modern era, in the 2020s, about
Whatever this era will be called.
whatever this era is, the author's intent is the only thing that matters. Bringing up, allegations, all that kind of shit. The author's intent, what the author's about. The only thing that matters is the author. They say, this guy did this, therefore the whole experience is
J.K. Rowling, for example.
yeah, sure.
Harry Potter's. He's now looked through the
Lens of the author's
author.
politics.
Right. When it should only be looked through.
Look through the story itself.
Right.
Right now, there's criticisms to this work.
It's interesting.
It's an interesting concept. I'm surprised you never really heard of this article, this famous essay. Surely,
Maybe.
right? But it's an important context. It's an important tool in the tool bag. And I kind of agree with it.
When does postmodernism actually start? Like the 60-something?
60-something in France.
What is this called? What are we in now?
I don't know.
Trash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trash era? Yeah. But, yeah, it's an interesting concept.
Postmodernism.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about it? Why are you bringing this up?
Well, I was. There's a lot of talk about, because the Sanji thing was brought up maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I've just been thinking about it, being like, people don't understand what I was saying and what my argument was, or
Yeah.
when we bring this up all the time, people go,
You have to judge things within the context of the story.
exactly.
When you start breaking fourth walls to make justifications,
I think it's right in some ways and wrong in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's kind of like a balance between author's intent and what's actually in the story and what the context is within the story. All right, because you can't go. It's kind of we're kind of in that midpoint, kind of agree disagree area, right?
It's hard, right? Because you always see if the author does his job, the intent should be clear, which would be his intent, right? But see with Sanji, what the intention of Oda is X, but the outcome is Y. In terms of the context of the greater
the unintentional
yes.
context, the unintentional,
The subtext, the subconscious.
you could be
writing.
writing something and not intend that to be read that way, interpreted that way. So in that way, the author really doesn't matter. Like the author's intent doesn't really matter. It matters what's there and what's executed.
Would you agree? Is there a true interpretation of a story?
No. There's ballparks. There's, there's errors in which could be
Is there
right.
pros and cons to having a concrete intention, or do you want to leave it loose for the audience to engage with? Because I think if the intention is 100% pure, then what does the audience engage with?
Well,
what is the imagination triggered by being 100% concrete? Right?
well, this is more about themes and meanings, not necessarily about imagining different aspects of the story.
Sure, but you want your audience to wrestle with what is the theme, right?
Sure.
You don't want to, maybe you want to pose a question in the theme, right?
Yeah, but
And answer it.
normally stories answer it,
Yeah.
and the answer your answer has to be backed up by the story itself.
But they do, they teach comprehension in school, right?
Yeah,
So,
but
what does that mean? Because everyone brings their own, things to the table.
that's what I mean by ballpark.
Yeah.
Did this event happen? Does this mean this?
You shouldn't
but there
necessarily
could be
have two
nuance.
wildly opposite interpretations of something.
Sure,
Unless, the author wants you to,
but then that's different.
it's complex.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, there's no 100% pure interpretation because that's doesn't mean anything. With the nature of truth, all that kind of bullshit. But yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because I don't think because there seems to be two camps with the internet, which is you reaching,
Yeah.
or this is trash.
You reach it is annoying
Yeah,
because it's you haven't done any art history classes, clearly.
Yeah.
So you don't, you know, you can write a 10,000 word essay on a painting.
Yeah. But again, it's just interpretation. So, you know, there you go. There's the author. Just wanted to bring it up, just to educate the people. Maybe you go read the article, the essay yourself. All right? Very interesting. All right? There you go. Moving on to the Thunderdome.
Who's in the Thunderdome this week?
Thunderdome, we have from Jordan Lee. Boa Hancock versus Diaz x Drake.
Dead. Bo wins.
Male factor. We're just going off male factor.
Yeah.
And Supernova versus
we
Forward.
saw it in the bathhouse with Drake. Bloody nose.
That is true.
Dead immediately.
I did forget.
You did forget the bathhouse.
I did forget about Drake's weird perversions.
There's some stupid theories out there that it was something else. No.
He saw his mother, you know, all kinds of edgy
Some
bullshit.
nonsense.
Right?
It was, indeed, susceptible to the happy.
His father ran a brothel and it triggered his, you know.
He's a coward. No.
Yeah.
Alright? Dead immediately. Bo wins. Starring immediately.
I did forget about Drake's weird perversion in that one chapter that was never brought up ever again. Will that be brought up?
Hawkins?
Will that be brought up with Black Maria?
Perhaps.
The Hawkins does comment how childish Drake is.
Hawkins may be immune to Boa because he's too IQ level.
Big brain IQ player. All he cares about is a chance.
Right.
Right? That's all he cares about. Is how the
But
cards.
Drake, on the floor, bloody nose,
Dead.
not Sanji level dead, but some...
It's in the
close.
stone.
Yeah.
The stone.
Stone, instant stone.
Drake done. Easy. I forgot about that. All right.
That was maybe the quickest power Thunderdome we've done.
All right, there you go.
Quicker would be Sanji Boa.
Questions. Question corner. We have a few questions for us. From Dart, first question. Can you explain to the people why Bill King is better than Jujutsu Kaisen? A triggersome tweet went out from Eric.
I didn't say it was better.
What did you say?
I said check it out. I like the architecture. You know why it's better?
Here we go.
Alright? You know why it's better?
So you did say it's better.
I didn't say it was better.
But you said it's better now.
Sure. You know why it's better?
What's that?
Because it has a point of difference.
What's that? The architecture angle?
Architecture buildings. Do you want to see an upside down vampire castle?
What do you think? What do you think of the criticism / meme that Jujutsu Kaisen is Bleach 2.0?
I haven't absorbed Bleach.
Well, Bleach is about mostly the same things: fighting yokai,
Yeah, well,
underground society of demon shit.
it's very it's very generic.
At the start, at least.
At least Bill King has a point of difference and somewhat of a new idea.
Generic in other ways.
Of course, no one's saying Bill King is a great literary work of art, Christian.
You
No
just
one's
want
saying
that
that.
Toriko hype.
Alright, but I do enjoy the architecture.
Should I grab the whoa cookie punchy?
Christian, I think you need to look at this architecture.
I've seen the architecture.
I think you need to look at the cross sections, the designs of the buildings.
Alright.
Very good.
Now-
No one is better.
Now, when I'm sitting there drawing a panel, the last thing I want to do is draw a background, and everyone knows this. Let's draw anything.
What's more impressive than a grand architectural design in?
It takes too long.
We know the effort and pain it takes.
Yeah. All right. There you go. All right. And there's your little rant for you, Dart. Just for you. All right.
Yeah.
You're the only one out asking this question. From Ezzy, would you rather be able to speak with your ass, or be able to come up with 3 top 10 songs of the year? Or be able to? Was it?
Top 10 songs, get that cash.
Would you rather be able to speak with your ass, so you can literally speak
Like Kinemon.
like Kinemon,
Yes.
but you don't lose the ability to speak through your mouth?
Right.
It's just a bonus party trick. I don't know what the purpose of this is. Or be able to come up with 3 of the top 10 songs of the year. You go with the songs of the year, to make that money.
I don't
know
I'm
what
confused about
talking
the
out of the.
question.
I don't know what talking out of the ass gets you.
Maybe he, you know, it would be a would you rather kind of thing.
It is. It's a good and all there. Would you rather just speak out of your ass or come up with the 3 top 10 songs of the year?
Maybe he meant, would you rather be normal or sing the top 10 songs through your ass?
No. That's not what it says.
Anyway, next question. Answered. Strange question.
Strange question. From Frisk, do you think that Toki can freeze time? Can she trap someone in a time loop? A bit of King Crimson. Won't get into that.
We'll see.
We'll see. I doubt it.
She might age her son up 20 years.
That's crazy, alright?
Then we'd have a dragon battle in the sky.
From Bindle, why is kids fighting demons so popular in Japan right now?
It's
Demon Slayer.
It's a classic.
Yokai Watch. JJK.
All the way to the original Christian.
Bleach. Yu Hakusho.
Correct.
All of them. Right? Yokai very popular in Japan for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Folklore, right? From young Obama. Why does the... Is this... I don't know. From a younger Obama, is it the actual younger Obama? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why does the summer look better than 99% of this manga? I don't know about that. The manga looks great. I don't know what
Sure.
this man's upset about in the manga. Of Promised Neverland. From Badger. Why ask questions if they never get answered? Now, Badger, if you hold me hostage and say you answer this question with my answer or X, I'm not gonna bring up the question.
Right.
Therefore, I win. Because the question was never asked. Therefore, the punishment can never be given.
Right.
So you forgot I'm a big brain player.
I'm sick of these clans of Discord, Christian.
You forget, alright? From Cruisop, do you think that the Promised Neverland could be vegan slash vegetarian propaganda?
It's David dating children.
I mean, you know.
I don't
Is
know.
Hansel and Gretel anti-sweet propaganda? I don't know, you know. Also from Cruisop. No, from John and Lee. Could Life Returns be the 4th power system in OP that uses life force / spirit? We've brought this up many a time. The soul, life force,
Lao G.
flames, lightning, elemental effects. We brought this up many times. Is there a 4th pillar? Will we ever find out? Haki, kind of not explained really that much. Is this 4th pillar ever going to be explained, or is it just going to be Haki? You know. From Hebihime. Now this is a real dumb question, right? I don't know why.
As usual, yes.
I don't know why they ask these questions, but here's the question. If you were to stick something down your urethra, would the other twin be able to feel it? That's the question. Now, there's a whole backstory to it, but I'm not going to read the backstory.
No, next question.
Alright? No. It's not magic, alright? There you go. From Hebihime also. Can you have spaghetti without pasta? Now, this is a dumb question, because spaghetti is a type of pasta. It's not the sauce. Spaghetti is a pasta. You can have spaghetti with a multitude of sauces. So you cannot have spaghetti without pasta. It's the dumbest question ever asked. What?
Next question. $2.50 from Heavy.
Alright. From Itachi. Did you watch Justice League Snyder Cut? I'm not gonna waste 4 hours of my time.
I wasted for an hour with JJK.
Now, apparently this movie complete and utter nonsense and insanity.
Right.
We're talking about random 5 minutes of Icelandic singing.
Apparently it's like a weird thing where like this would never be made.
We're talking
And-
about split up into 6 parts, each with a cringe title, such as All the King's Horses and such names. Right? We're talking about Zack Snyder putting the most insane music choices on action scenes. This is unhinged. Unhinged.
This is like, how did this get made? Why is this made?
Unrestrained.
This isn't a film.
Unrestrained Snyder nonsense.
Yeah.
And if you're down for that, you're gonna have a great time. Now, I've seen the trailer with Joker. I'm instantly out.
I can't do that line.
What is it? Dumb.
Fucking babe.
Alright, everything about comics boiled down into its strange nonsense. Alright? No, I'm not watching the Snyder Cut, / not gonna watch the Snyder Cut. I didn't even watch the original Justice League. Why am I gonna watch this?
DC kind of sucks. Apart from Batman. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Alright. From that,
I can't Marvel just buy Batman.
that's a good question. Alright, if Disney buys everything.
Can I see Wolverine versus Batman?
If Disney buys everything, it's a possibility. Right? From that, is Eric going to catch up with My Hero Academia like everyone else? I have noticed that since the announcement of the final arc, people are catching up.
Otake Masters, goaded character development.
Well, the fan base is split.
Listen,
The fan base is split.
Listen.
We can't bring it up. The
Listen.
fan base is split on
no
the...
spoilers, Christian.
Yeah.
Listen, alright? I'm sick of these hot take Twitter masters just saying character development. Like, that's not... What percentage of the story is character development?
5%.
Get out of here!
It's for... Well, it's the emotional aspect of an arc, but...
It's also lessons for the audience and the themes, etc.,
Sure.
etc., right? Shut up about
But
character
it
development.
mainly comes at the end of something.
Why are people trying to tell me that character development and character growth are like different things?
Because you never see... Well, moving on. My Hero, back in the zeitgeist. See, My Hero comes in waves. It's goated, then it's trash. Then it's goated, then it's trash. Then it's goated, and it's trash. You know, it goes in waves. That's the way it is, right? From Tom. Do you think we will get Shanks and Roger's backstory together, or will they be told in separate instances? We kind of already got Roger's backstory a
You
little
got
bit.
Roger's backstory pieced together through Shanks,
Through Odin.
through Odin.
Yeah.
And you'll get Mayhawk and Shanks's backstory
Sure.
as well. So Shanks' backstory, flashback's gonna be massive for many things.
Sure. From The Man with No Name. In the past, Jump tended to favor more light-hearted series, but Promised Neverland, Demon Slayer, and Death Note is Demon Slayer dark?
It's decapitation.
Okay. Demon Slayer, dark themes. Is a transition into more serious and mature content part of the reason they're still successful?
What content?
You could say JoJo gets dark. You could say... I would say they've always had a variety of content, which makes them successful.
They've had some late
They've got the comedy, they've got the darkness, they've got the action.
They got the titties.
They got it all. That's what they've got. The variety in the magazine. That's what sells it. There's something for everyone.
It's for 13-year-olds, but there's some 16, 17, 18.
That's their
content,
strategy. We got the low end, we got the high end, we got the comedy, we got it all.
And they've had a variety for a long time. He says Death Note. When was Death Note?
2000.
Yeah.
And
JoJo
5,
Part 3.
Sure. It's been around. There's multiple.
Part 5. When was that? 97.
What is what's it called? Is Helsing Jump? No, surely not.
I don't
It's too dark. That's like rated R shit, but
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
This Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter gets there sometimes. No, I think it's always been a part of it.
Fist of the North Star is very violent. Yu Yu Hakusho is violent.
Yeah,
And there's violent things.
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's always had a variety of content. I want to say recently.
Sure.
So Soft and wet. Who was your favorite from the main trio? I'm guessing he's talking about Promised Neverland.
Probably Emma, because it's the first
Well,
chapter.
yeah, we'll go Emma. She gets the most to do. She's the main character.
They don't
basically.
really take the entire orphanage out with them, do they? It's a lot of children. A lot of dummies.
I'm not gonna spoil that.
It's a lot of people to look after. How they eat. Is there some Dr. Stone shit involved?
All kinds of questions
Will be answered.
will be answered if you read it.
Okay.
And we got Sunday Lollipop with a question. What the fuck is the anime doing? I've heard the anime for Promised Neverland is trash. They change a lot. They fucked up the pacing. They fucked it all up.
As it goes.
Sure. So don't watch the anime, read the manga. But controversial ending, I'll say that. Alright?
Different ending?
No, controversial. The anime is in season 2.
Right.
So I'm talking about the manga. Alright? Just be warned.
Is there another
Starts
fucking
great.
nonsense twist?
Starts great.
Is it like a 4th level twist?
I don't know. I haven't read. I don't know what it is. I just know it's controversial.
Did you drop it at a 2nd level twist? How many
Yeah.
levels of twist do we get deep?
2.
And you got mad.
I'm just like, it's lost its way.
Right.
It's lost its way. You know.
Okay.
From Japanese Jim. He's asking us how about the ending and how something so beautiful can go so meh. I've heard the ending is meh / controversial. People don't like it. It is what it is.
When you have a singular idea that's so pure, and then you have to extend it,
Yeah, it falls off. It falls off a little bit.
you have to strike gold again.
Yeah.
Difficult.
And there you go. There's the show. Quick show. This an hour and something. An hour and some change. Promised Neverland. Next week we get a One Piece Wild chapter. Will Odin be revealed in his true self?
King Recon says it's going to take months for us to know truly.
Will hybrid form be revealed?
Carbrid?
Yeah.
No, not yet. All the fights have to end for Carbrid.
Well, a fight happen. Will
Sanji-
Sanji fight someone?
Oh, will more questions be revealed?
Will Jack run into Odin? Will Toki
There's going to be
make an
more
appearance?
questions.
Will Scopper Gabon make himself?
Will Rayleigh reveal himself?
Will Scopper Gabon reveal himself? What if? Odin. What if? Well, no. What if this is not Odin, but Scopper Gabon with a shape-shifting ability? Did you consider that possibility? You didn't.
No.
You did. Now that would be a worthwhile reveal, would it not?
This is a big meme.
It is Scopper Gabon.
Remember at the tea party we were like, oh, fucking who's going to be here? Crocodile.
Where's Crocodile going to make his guest appearance?
No Rob Lucci, but we're going to see CP0, remember?
Oh, we got Rob Lucci later on, not that far later.
Okay.
Alright. The idea was solid. CP there. So there you go.
CP0 was there.
Yeah.
Alright.
There you go, there's the show. Like the stream. Comment. Subscribe. Alright? And, as always, Shanks is the God King.
Good night.